This white dude asked me, where are your chains, in my YouTube comment section. Context, I've got this song where I say, keeping a fist raised since they forced us into chains. Now, I am from a country called Malawi, named after the Maravi Kingdom, which once occupied more or less the same geography as the country Malawi. The name means land of fire. That's what Malawi means. Why is it land of fire? Now, Malawi lies at the southern edge of the Great Rift Valley of Africa, which is in Eastern Africa. So it's in the southernmost part of that valley. Now, if you stand on the highlands of that Rift Valley, you can see into the country. And back then, it was named the Land of Fire because when you stand on those highlands and you look down into the lowlands, you could see these pockets, these little lights of fire. What were these fires? They were furnaces. The country was known as a place to get iron. It was known for iron smelting. Now, David Livingstone wrote a letter to the United Kingdom, to Great Britain, to the governor, I suppose. And in this letter, he mentions that this Malawian iron rivals Swedish iron, Viking iron. It's as good as that. And it was superior to the iron that he brought from Bristol. Now, when Malawi became a British protectorate in 1891, they discouraged iron smelting. And actually, the last ironsmith, the last blacksmith, was arrested in 1921. And afterwards, he was put to work in a British steel mill. But they outlawed the practice of iron smelting because they were afraid of the superiority of the iron that we're making. And they were afraid that, why would you be afraid of that? Because you would use it to make weapons and potentially rebel, isn't it? So the practice was outlawed. Now, I know this is 2026, but the actions in the past reverberate into the present and into the future. You discourage chemistry, you discourage this craftsmanship. What happens? It's not passed on to the next generation, and then the next generation is not as economically productive, and so on and so forth. So you are metaphorically placed into chains because you are not at the capacity that you could have been at. So that's what this song is referring to. The song, by the way, is called Tangata. Tangata is another system of unpaid labor that was practiced in Malawi. So I go on to say, often there are lames who try exhaust us in this game, but how can we quit when there's fortunes to be gained? Plus every triumph puts endorphins in our veins. They test our mettle, always calling us some names. But we absorbed what others forfeited in shame, then forged it in a flame. Look how gorgeous it became. So that's back to the reference of the iron smelting. And also that there are always going to be lames trying to talk down on you, just like that guy was. So there's your history lesson. It's a song called Tangata, track 1 of my album The Price of Easy, which I just put out. So if you want some science, if you want some history, some knowledge, go check out my album.